Welcome to episode 6 of Basics and Beyond, the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about your roadmap to summer success. What do I mean by that? Hey, I just got back from a week-long vacation in Pennsylvania for my niece's graduation, and I have some strategies that I employ and I help my clients employ when they are traveling during the summer or kind of any time of year, but this is about summer, going to graduations, going to parties. How can you stick to your goals and continue to make progress towards them while you are traveling with others or even by yourself? Join us for some great strategies. Welcome to episode 6.
Welcome to episode 6 of Basics and Beyond, the podcast. I'm super excited to be here with you today to talk to you about traveling, vacations, when you have goals. It is an interesting topic for sure. And most people, honestly, it get overwhelmed. And I get overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed. It's an overwhelming thing to have a goal in the first place, but then to be able to break that goal down into targets that you're going to hit every day or most days or 90% of the time. And then something pops up, like a family vacation is in the works. Or like me, you're moving and you have packed away all of your things to make food, just being on the road, going to graduation parties, all of those things create this sense of overwhelm. And a lot of the times when we feel overwhelmed, we give up and we throw everything away and say, I'll just start again when everything is settled down, which is a great thought. And for some people, they can do that and it works just fine. For a lot of people, though, once we have that conversation with ourselves that, oh, we'll just pick this up again once things settle down, what we realize is things don't settle down. Something is always coming up, and that something is life, right? Life is what happens on this journey of the day-to-day, and things can happen during the day that throw us off track, and things can happen during the week that throw us off track. And today we're going to talk about those summer plans that we absolutely want to do. We want to go on family vacations. Okay, well, maybe some of us don't want to go on family vacations, but we want to go on vacations, and maybe we're vacationing with friends or family, or maybe it's that, yearly trip to the cabin, or maybe it's your every other weekend trip to the cabin. Maybe it's graduation parties, whatever it is for you that is coming up, and you have physique goals, weight loss goals, health goals in general. You just want to be healthier. And maybe it's just that you want to continue the habits that you have been creating or starting to create, and you just need some helpful tips. You need some ideas, you need some strategies to help you stay on that path and not just throw everything away. Because once we get on the path, like sometimes we know just getting on the path is the hardest part, right? Starting the journey. And once we start, we don't want to jump off. Because if we jump off, we have to jump on again. And we know how hard that was. And it's harder the second time or third time or fourth time. I find this so often with my clients is we get overwhelmed with the starting and stopping. And it does get exponentially harder each time that we do that. So if we can find strategies to keep us on the path and give us some flexibility so that we can enjoy life even when we are trying to be healthy, even when we have those physique goals or those fat loss goals. So first thing we need to think about, what's coming up? What is it? How important is it? And how can we modify and manipulate our goals, not our goals, but our targets each day to fit what we're doing, to fit the event, to fit the week, to fit all of those things in. So that is always where we start, and that is the planning phase. I know, shocking, right? Planning phase. I'm always talking about scheduling, planning, being prepared. That's the preparation phase. Anything that you do in this life that you're going to be successful with truly starts in that planning and preparing stage. So that's where you want to start. So when you're thinking about going on a vacation, you want to think about where you're going and what that looks like, because it's different for different spaces. For example, if you're flying somewhere versus driving somewhere, you have different options. If you're staying in a hotel versus staying in a cabin or staying with family, you have different options, right? So those are very important things that change the strategies, specific strategies that you can employ daily to help you. So let's talk through a few of those first. If you are traveling via airplane or some sort of mass transportation like that, airplane is generally what people do, you are limited in your ability to find nutritious foods. You really are. That's just how it is. And number one, you are not bringing bottles of water with you that are full onto an airplane or anywhere in the airport past TSA. It's just how it goes. Here's one quick strategy to help you stay hydrated. It's really important to stay hydrated when you are flying. Flying actually dehydrates you more than any other type of travel. So stay hydrated. That's huge. It's going to help you with your bowel movements. It's going to help you with your sleep. It'll help you with your energy levels. It'll just help you with brain fog and help you feel good. So stay hydrated. Don't not drink water. Okay. And you don't have to spend $6 on a tiny bottle of water at the airport. Here's how you do it. You take that trusty water bottle. Here's mine. If you can see me, if you're watching on YouTube, I take this trusty water bottle with me everywhere I go. It's gigantic, but still, it's a half gallon. I do 2 a day. What I do, and I have done this for years, I'm going to say easily over a decade, probably 2. And that's weird, right? Because I'm really not that old, that I've been doing this for 2 decades. Anyway, what I do, and your strategy, number one, to stay hydrated is bring your water bottle with water in it on your journey to the airport. Once you get to the airport, you dump the water out. So you get out of the car. Some spaces, some airports actually have dumping stations right before TSA. I can't guarantee you that your airport where you're going to be has that. I know that some of them do. I just saw it at the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport last week. So I was fascinated. It was great. However, just to make life easy, this is what I do. I get out of the car, I dump it out because you're outside. No one cares. It's just water. Dump it out on the curb or off the curb. Put the top back on it, carry it through security. There's no water in it. They don't care. They're not going to take it from you. Once you get through security, you get your shoes back on, you grab all your stuff, you figure out where your gate is. On your way to the gate, I bet you pass a water bottle refilling station. They are usually by the restrooms. And I've never seen an airport recently that doesn't have one. I remember the first time that I was in an airport and I saw one. Oh, it was a thrill. It really was. Sadly, it was a thrill for me. However, most airports now near the restrooms, they're going to have a water bottle filling station. So fill up your water bottle right away. Don't wait. Just do it. Fill up that water bottle and then head to your gate. You can drink your water on the airplane, drink your water off the airplane. No issues. Just make sure you're drinking your water. So there's strategy number one. If you're driving in a car, you don't have to worry about that. You can just bring your water bottle with you. If you're in a car, though, you may find it difficult to refill your water bottle. And we also know that sometimes water, it tastes different in different places. It really does, honestly. So if I want to keep track of my water, if I want to make life easier on myself, I may just buy a gallon of water at the gas station. They're usually not that expensive. Honestly, like maybe $1.50, $2 maybe. And I just bring that gallon of water with me in the car, and I'll refill my water bottle or I'll chug it out of the gallon. It doesn't matter. Then you know how much you've had all day if you grab that gallon of water. So that's the water piece. If you're traveling via plane or car, pretty simple. When traveling via airplane, you're not necessarily going to be bringing frozen food with you in your luggage. Or you can in your carry-on. You actually can. If you've pre-frozen it, I know people who've done it. I do. You can do it. Like you can have one of those freezer bags and fill it with the stuff you already have frozen, and you can keep it frozen. But that's a lot of work, a lot of planning. You may not want to do that. You also, if you are going to be staying at a hotel or things like that, those meal delivery services some of them are very good. I know, what is it? There's a brand that I use that's really good. It'll come to me. I don't have it on my brain right now, but there's a few of them that I personally know bodybuilders use. And so those are very helpful. I will link those in the show notes. So you can always do that. You want to plan ahead for that though, too. If you're going to use one of those services, you need to order your food 2 to 3 weeks at least ahead of time so that it's at your hotel when you get there. There is a lead time on that. So you want to be prepared, obviously, in that way too, if you're doing one of those. However, there are ways that you can, when you are flying, you can stick with your nutrition plan, focusing on protein. So whenever I travel, those are the two things I focus on the most. If I don't have a specific goal that I'm working toward, like right now, I am in a deficit, I'm in a cut because I'm doing a bodybuilding kind of thing, right? And so I am a little more specific about what I'm doing. But on the normal, what I tell most of my clients to do is really just focus on protein and water for sure, especially on travel days. Those are the two like heavy hitters. Those are the two things that are going to give you the most bang for your buck on your travel days. Not saying you shouldn't eat carbs. Yes, you should. But I'm saying make sure you focus on getting your protein in and getting your water in. Those are the two most challenging things on travel days. So protein, you can pack in your bag. You can pack single serving cans of tuna, single serving cans of chicken. Make sure you get the ones with the pop top so you can rip it off so you don't have to bring a can opener with you because that's weird. And I don't even know if you can get on a plane with a can opener in your carry-on. So get the ones that you single serving that you can open. You can do the tuna packets. You can bring hard-boiled eggs if you have them sealed up in a container. That takes a little more space, obviously, if you're, for your carry-on. You can do jerky. Jerky is great. Throw some jerky in your carry-on. I like to throw single-serving Ziploc containers. It's a Ziploc bag with my protein powder in it. And this is great. I get to talk to people when I do that. When I was going to Philadelphia this last week, they pulled my bag, of course, my carry-on, because I had 7 Ziploc bags with 1 scoop of protein powder in each bag. And they were concerned that I was creating a protein powder bomb. I wouldn't know how to create a bomb, but that's fine. It was great though. So the ladies who were looking through my luggage, they were like, "What is this?" I said, "Oh, it's protein powder." And they said, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, I put it in my coffee." They go, "Oh my God, I've never heard of that." And I said, "Oh, it's great." You put it, and so we had this entire conversation about different kinds of protein powder. I actually talked to them about the kind I use because it's really good in coffee, I think, and it dissolves and it's fabulous. So it was a great conversation. Hopefully they had a good day because of that, and I wasn't crabby and everything was good. So, and I had protein powder for my coffee every day that I was gone. It was fantastic. So when you are traveling via plane, focus on your water, focus on your protein. If you're not bringing protein in your carry-on with you and you plan to get protein at the airport, you're going to need to stop at a not convenience store thing in the airport, because you're not going to really find beef jerky there or any kind of jerky. You're not going to find a really good source of protein at those kind of stands like Hudson News and things like that. You're going to find some bars, but you might as well have a candy bar at that point. What you're going to need to do then is stop at a restaurant style place and order protein, like a hamburger, and have half a bun and no French fries. I know, no French fries with a hamburger. That's not right, Laura. I know. That's why I bring protein. But bringing your protein along in terms of like just even beef jerky, some cans, whatever it is, that's going to help you. If that's your goal, right? If you're focusing on protein, get your protein in that way when you're traveling via airplane. Okay. If you're traveling via car, which I've done multiple times, and I will be doing again this coming week, that's a little easier because you can bring a cooler. You can make your lunches. You can freeze your lunches ahead of time, like freeze a lunch, freeze a couple of meals ahead of time. And you can have your whole meal in your container, frozen in your cooler. You stop at a gas station to get gas and say it's lunchtime and you're hungry. All you have to do is take that container, walk into the convenience store. Every one of them has a microwave. I guarantee you, if you don't see one, ask the person behind the counter. They know exactly where it is. Don't search for it. Just ask. They'll tell you. And pop your lunch, breakfast, whatever it happens to be, pop that meal into the microwave, hit how many ever minutes it needs. There's always forks there too. Grab a fork or bring one with, whatever works. Have your lunch. You can bring it in the car as long as you're not driving. I'm not going to promote driving and eating when you're eating a meal, but some people can do it. That's great. Super easy. If you're not bringing a cooler with you with your food, again, you have options at those convenience stores. There are lots of ways you can get protein in. You can get a sandwich, right? You can get a sandwich. There's meat in that sandwich. Eat the meat out of the sandwich. I know, Laura, that's crazy, but you can also have carbs. You can get fruits there. Yeah, veggies, I would probably not, but fruits, you can get fruits at convenience stores, at gas stations. You can have a sandwich. Don't be afraid of bread. Please don't be afraid of bread. Just monitor how many carbs you're eating. That's the important part, right? Don't overeat. We don't want to overeat in the first place. You can get hard-boiled eggs at gas stations. You can get jerky at gas stations. You can get a protein bar. Like I said, you might as well get a candy bar. You can get a protein shake. Be careful of what you get. Lots of options at convenience stores that are not chips. Like, don't go for the chips. Don't do that kind of thing. Remember, we're focusing on water. We're focusing on protein. And if you focus on water and protein, either way, whether you're in the car and you bring your own, or you stop at gas stations and grab some, or you're on the plane and you bring your own, or in the airport, bring your own, or stop there and grab some. It is not difficult to get your fats and your carbs for the day if you focus on protein. Protein is the hardest macronutrient to get while you're traveling. And that's just the traveling part, right? That's like not even talking about what happens when you get where you're going. When you get to where you're going, like I said, if you choose, if you're going to be at a hotel and you're driving, I've done this, you can pack all your food and you can have it in the room and you have a microwave, or there's one down in the concierge area. There's usually refrigerators, but you have to be really careful nowadays with those hotels. If you're staying in a hotel, look ahead. There's that planning and preparing thing. Look ahead to see what is actually in the room and what is available, because you may not have an opportunity or options in the room for refrigerators or microwaves. You just never know. And if you don't bring your food along, that's fine. You could do one of those meal delivery services if that works. You can also, when you land, and this is what I did, even though I didn't stay in a hotel, but when I stay in hotels, I will take the service. They usually have a van service, and I will go to the grocery store and I will pick up things that I need, and I will keep it in my room. Like I've gotten an entire rotisserie chicken that has lasted me 2.5 days, almost 3 days. And I get tuna and I get super easy. It's not that difficult. You just have to plan. If you have goals that you want to meet and you want to do that. Okay. So that's a hotel option for you. If you're staying at a family, like if you're staying with family, super, I mean, that is easy. You just have to be brave enough or organized enough to say, hey, I'm going to go grab some stuff for myself at the grocery store. It's always nice to offer. You guys need anything from this store while I go? Makes people feel good. And you're nice enough to do that. I know you are. Right. So get stuff from the store for yourself. You don't have to eat what everybody else is eating. I always use this. This is my standard reply. When everyone goes out to eat, say you and your entire family go out to eat, say there's 12 of you, I don't know, and you all go to the same restaurant. So you're all sitting at the same table. You're all having dinner together. You're having dinner together. You would say that. You would tell people, we're having dinner together. Absolutely. Are you all eating the same thing? No. Everybody is ordering what they want off the menu. It's very standard. It makes sense. So when you're at your family's house or when you're visiting friends, you don't all have to eat the same things. You do different things. Some people use ketchup. Some people use ranch dressing. Some people use mustard. It's not all the same ever. So take a little bit of control. And the people you are with will probably appreciate that because sometimes, the person who does all the cooking is overwhelmed anyway. Take a little control. Be like, hey, I'm going to go get myself some things. And these are kind of the things that I'm going to eat at least most of your meals, maybe not all. And stick to your protein. Make sure you're getting that protein. It doesn't have to be everything. Focus on protein. Focus on getting your water. Those are the important things when it comes to nutrition and traveling and seeing family and doing the vacations. The caveat to that is you have to know what your goals are ahead of time, and you have to know what you're willing to do when you're there. What are you comfortable with? What are the gives and the takes for you when you are traveling, when you are with family, when you're on vacation, wherever you happen to be going? What are you willing to do? And how much of the plan or how much of your path do you want to stay on? Right? You can make it as simple as I'm going to get my movement in and I'm going to drink my water. You can make it as detailed as I'm going to stick to my macros and eat 90% of my meals from Whole Foods, whether they do or not, and not go out to dinner or go to dinner, but don't eat because you already ate. Those kinds of things. It depends on your goals and what you're willing to do to get to your goals. There's no right or wrong. I think that's part of the problem with where we are in society now in general is everything is right or wrong. Everything is black or white. Everything is blue or red. Everything is one or the other. Everything is you either win or you lose. And that's not true. This isn't a win or lose. This isn't a 0% or 100%. This is enjoying your time in this life, making sure that you're not throwing everything away, all the progress you've made, making sure you're holding true to what you're going to feel good about in your head and in your heart. Enjoying the time with family and friends, and making sure that you feel good physically, mentally, emotionally. So start with, what are your goals? Ask yourself, what am I willing to do on this trip with these people to stay on track toward my goals? And what am I not willing to do? And how flexible do I want to be? And then make a plan from there. And you will be successful because at the end of that trip, you will say, I enjoyed myself. I loved being with the people that I was with. I had a lot of fun. I felt good emotionally, physically, psychologically. I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad I did it. And then when you get home, whether you jumped completely off the path or just a little, the next day when you get home, guess what you can do? Jump right back on that path and hit your targets every day. Go out, make a plan, Have a great life. Enjoy your day today for sure. And let me know in the comments what you thought of the podcast. Let me know what you'd like to hear about. If you have further questions, man, I'm here for you. That is why I do this. I want you to feel good every single day. I want you to feel powerful. I want you to live that power every single day. You have the power to change your life. I am here to help you with that. I'm here to help you find it. And I'm here to walk beside you as you do it. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for coming to episode 6. We'll see you on the next one.